Hey, welcome to Outsmart Your Guitar. Glad you could join us. Today in Soloing Concepts, we're in part one on playing with your fingers, meaning your picking hand, playing with your fingers. We're going to focus on rhythm in this lesson, and then in part two, we're going to focus on playing lead guitar parts. All right, so let's just get right to it. Oh, and be sure to like and subscribe to Outsmart Your Guitar along the way. That's kind of important. In 1972, Don Kirshner, a concert promoter, got the idea to rent a soundstage and hire a lot of up-and-coming and well-known bands to perform before a live audience. And he taped these and offered them to late-night television to be broadcast on a Friday or a Saturday night. Well, the band I was in at the time, we were pretty avid music lovers, so we would watch all kinds of stuff on TV that was music related, particularly the late night concert shows like Midnight Special, In Concert, and the other shows. And so we watched In Concert this one particular night, and out on stage comes Roy Buchanan. Now, he had just got a big popular tune on the FM radio stations called The Messiah Will Come Again. This song is amazing. It starts out very low key with an organ and a narrative. And as the narrative ends, the guitar steps in and begins to play this incredible, sad, weeping guitar part, knocking us all back on our butts, right? So we're very interested to see what Roy can do. He gets up on stage there, pulls his Telecaster out and starts to play. And we notice something very interesting. He's not using any picks. And so that got me interested, and I picked up my guitar and started to look at what he was doing and try to mimic it to a certain extent. Well, over the years, I kept toying with this idea of playing without a pick, and I began to develop my own approach. And as you know, in the mid-'80s, a band called the Dire Straits came out, and they had a song, Sultans of Swing, and Mark Knopfler is the guitar player, and he is playing this song without a pick. Everybody's like, wow. Let's see what this is all about. And so there was some renewed interest in playing without a pick. Okay, so all that to tell you here in part one, we're going to focus on rhythm. I think I mentioned that earlier. And you'll see that it's not really all that difficult. And if you have any finger picking experience at all, this is actually going to be all that much easier as well. Okay, so let's just get to it. The first technique I want to show you is strumming, standard sounding strumming. So how we accomplish this is we use the nails on our fingers. Now, I use my second and third fingers predominantly, and you basically just, let's play an A chord here, strum down like that. And then for an upstroke, I use the thumbnail. So you have to rotate in a little bit, like that. Now you're going, well, I've also seen people do this. Maybe using the first finger for the upstroke, the thumb for the down. Now there's nothing wrong with that. It's a little soft sounding. With your nails, you'll get a little brighter. As opposed to... So if you want the soft, go to the flesh. If you want brighter, go to the hard surfaces, your nails. And that's really it. Just down with the nails on your second and third finger, up with the nail on your thumb. And that's it. That is the essence of the basic strum. So pause and give this a shot. Again, down with those two fingers, the second and third, and then up by rotating a little bit with your thumb so that it's more or less straight in like that, right? And from the side. Okay? And see how well you do. Now, be careful to pay attention that you're not hitting the cuticles. That will hurt. Okay? So this is strumming real basic stuff. Again, thumb and first finger for the softer, second and third finger nails, and thumb nail for the brighter. All right? Spend a little time with that. So, another thing you can do really cool is from fingerstyle, bring fingerstyle into your electric playing. There's nothing that says you can't do this, right? So you can, let's see. Absolutely. Why not? Right? And then you can also call out your root and stabs. Do horn stabs. Now I'm just playing the second, third, and fourth strings again. Open E back to A. Open E to G. D right here. D, A, back to D. D, A. Very straightforward. So you can actually do stuff like that. And so what I want you to do is explore some of those possibilities and see what you come up with. Another cool idea is hook your thumb over to play the bass note on the sixth string, and you can now play some moving rhythm bits here, right? Like this. Gives you freedom to be able to accomplish some ideas that maybe conventional playing doesn't facilitate or accommodate, right? So what I want you to do is kind of play around with this idea as well. Really explore the different kinds of things you can do, right? For example, right? It gives you a little more freedom. So give that stuff a try. See what you come up with. As you can see, I've just scratched the surface of what are the potentials of playing with your fingers instead of a pick. One of the biggest advantages or benefits, if you will, of playing without a pick is that you will start thinking differently about how a rhythm part that you've come up with might be approached. And you might hit the exact thing, putting the pick away and playing with your fingers, that the song actually wants and needs to make it sound right. Sometimes a pick can be very limiting because we think, oh, well, I play electric guitar, I need to use a pick. Well, Mark Knopfler and, as I mentioned, Roy Buchanan demonstrated, nah, you don't need a pick, right? So take the time to really dive into what kind of rhythmic ideas and potentials lie in playing without a pick. Thank you for letting me show you some of these really cool techniques. I love doing this stuff. And in part 2, as I mentioned, we'll be getting into soloing bits, how to play solos with your fingers. All right. So for now, you take care and we'll see you soon.